Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Sapphire-J TV. And if you have been following the episodes thus far, you will realize that we are in a series called the Rejection series. So I want to say thank you for clicking play, first of all, and actually committing to learning more about rejection. Now today, what I'm about to discuss, I would say now that we're literally going into the deep now with this whole rejection series. If you think about it, what I'm about to talk about today is going to help many of us, and it's going to help those who have encountered people that struggle with this issue, or those who are actually sitting in the seat who battle with this knowingly and unknowingly. So today's topic is entitled, Did I Offend You? Now, offense is one of the main issues to be able to detect rejection. And how is that? Well, if you think about it, anyone who is offended, first of all, you have to check their response. How to detect when somebody is struggling with offense? The first thing is, look at the way that they respond when something is brought up. It's always an argument or it's always a debate. These are the two main clues to be able to detect if this person struggled with offense. And we're going to go a little deeper into this thing where you'll be able to see more signs. And the reason why I can actually speak about this so freely and with so many symptoms to reveal to you is because I've been in the seat where I struggle with offense, and I've also been in the other seat where I may have said something in a loving way and the other person took offense. So now let's dig in. Offense can come from two things. It can be a lie or it can be the truth. Now, we can all understand now if somebody lies on us, they're trying to diminish our character, right? So I would think automatically you would be offended, but it's how you respond. You don't necessarily have to, go by what they say. I'm not going to even get on your level. But there's another level when you're telling somebody the truth and they get offended. You're telling them the truth about their character, especially if it's a loved one or if it's a friend. And you find yourself saying, you know what? I'm committing myself on this journey to help you be the better you that you can possibly be. And the moment that you shed light on issues that needs to be worked on, we automatically get defensive. It's almost like karate, like you get self-defensive. So it's like, now, how do you go further into this thing? Well, when you think about it with rejection tricks the mind or the brain into believing that whenever somebody corrects you or they have something to say that's going to kill pride, rejection feeds it now to say, this person out to get you, or this person don't mean you no well, or this person just straight up trying to attack. That's not necessarily the case, because when you think about it, we would want people that's surrounding us that's going to tell us if our breath stink, or if the way that we dress is not suitable for an occasion, or even if we have heart issues like you have pride, you need to check that. We need those type of people in our lives, but we become so defensive because at this point, the only thing our mind is conceiving is, I'm not good enough. And the person is not saying this, they can actually just critique you on your wardrobe. But rejection would then in turn translate that offense into saying, I'm not good enough. Or, you know what, I can never get anything right. So, somebody said to me before, Shay, it's not about what you say, but how you say it. Now, when you think about it, this is true But whenever it comes to the spirit of offense, no matter what you say, and no matter how you say it, in return, defense is inevitable. Now, I will give you other areas of our lives or other areas in general that falls under the umbrella of rejection where offense is tied to. Offense can be tied to fear. It can be tied to rebellion. It can be tied to anger or bitterness. And it can be tied to double-mindedness. Now, let's go a little deeper for you to understand how offense can be tied into these issues. Let's start off with fear. With fear, we are sometimes afraid of what people may see or what people may say, and basically what they think about us. Now, when it comes to how people perceive us, we may be afraid that they may see that we're not perfect. Okay, you're human. Nobody is perfect. Now, there's no need to be offended if you don't have it all together. If you did have it all together, then we would be concerned. Now, let's move on to anger. Anger literally stems through conversation, or anger can be triggered through a debate or defensiveness. In that moment when you say something, the person that struggles with offense, they allow, not necessarily they physically or they as that person allows, but rejection then allows anger to take over that individual, and they will begin to literally blow up out of nowhere. Mind you, what you might have said might have been in the sweetest tone, but rejection can be connected to anger, and something you might have said may trigger something from childhood or trigger something from a situation that you had no idea about. What we have to understand, whenever we may be saying something in a loving way and the opponent or the opposition takes these matters of offense to heart, we in turn should not take these things to heart. And I think that's some of the areas where we tend to fall as people who are trying to extend love. Now, let's go into the rebellion. I've seen it where rebellion is this cold person where they can shut down, don't have anything to say to you. If you say something that pushes a button that they never wanted to confront, they would stop talking to you. And if they do speak, they would literally act out of character, for lack of better terms. They would act out of character because you would see a beast or a mad woman or mad man literally arise. Rebellion has no honor. Rebellion has no respect for you or your feelings. And in this moment, you would have to take a step back and breathe. Moving on to double-mindedness. Now, with double-mindedness and offense is connected because when you bring up something, an issue, the person struggles with inconsistency. The person struggles with making decisions. The person struggles with they're not meeting deadlines, or they always have excuses for something. Mind you, they might have made promises to you, but because you have triggered something that brought offense, now they're rethinking, maybe I should not have said that. Maybe you ain't supposed to be in my life. Things like that. That's how you detect when somebody has been offended, because now they are emotionally unstable and they act like such. So those are key pointers. Now, like I said to you earlier in the video, I said that I've had the privilege of sitting in both seats. What I want to now help you understand is how to handle those that struggle with offense from being that person as a friend. And for those who are under the sound of my voice that's watching this video, for those who do struggle with it, I want to help you break those walls down. So let's dig in. For those that is that loving friend, that loved one who somehow said something that may have triggered offense, first of all, you have to pray. Yes, I did say pray. Pray for that individual's mind to be made clear. Basically, pray for their perception to be made clear, where they don't see it as an attack, but they see it as a matter of trying to improve, a matter of this is coming from love, and you know what, maybe I do need to work on this. Second, monitor your tone. Yes, I did say earlier that it doesn't matter what it is that you say, but it's how you say it. Those that struggle with rejection and struggle with this spirit of offense, the moment you say something and the tone is not right, automatically they shut down and block you out because they don't want to hear anything else that you have to say. And if you have valuable information to help improve them, if your tone is off, then that point can never get across. So monitor your tone because you don't want that wall to go up. Thirdly, remember that those that struggle with rejection, in case you didn't know, they are super sensitive individuals. So you have to be careful of how you tread lightly when trying to bring correction. Because if you bring correction, it will not be received as correction. It's going to be a defense automatically. So you have to be sensitive of their feelings, sensitive of their emotions. And I know it's a lot to take in, but if you really do care about this individual, you would now be guarded on how you approach them. If you was to talk to somebody about an issue who does not struggle with rejection, the way that they receive you will be totally different from one who in turn struggles. So we want you to be mindful of their sensitivity if you desire to help them break this thing. Now, for the individual who's sitting under the sound of my voice and struggles with offense, I got a few pointers. And I can share this with you, and it's living proof because I've walked this thing out. First of all, what I'm going to need you to do is relax. Everyone isn't out to get you. You do have people that are placed in your life to help get you where it is that you need to be. They too have made a commitment to help birth or help groom your character. So whenever somebody addresses you about an issue, automatically receive it out of love. Do not allow offense to kick up, because when offense kicks up, everything else that is considered as a baggage will arise. Any meaningful relationship or friendship that is sent to you, you're going to experience challenges. But like I said before, they're not out to hurt you. They're there to journey with you to be the better version of yourself. Thirdly, stop being so defensive. Like, whenever a correction is brought up, receive it, apply it. The moment you have walls building up non-stop, you're blocking your own growth. Forget the person on the other side of the wall, because they're trying to help you. But stop being defensive. The moment we take what has been said and we apply it to our lives, we become the better version of ourselves. But you can't grow honestly if there's a wall. Because when there's a wall and you block things out, you then stagnate your own growth. Lastly, I know you may not see this coming, but in all honesty, anyone that struggles with offense struggles with low self-esteem. You have to learn how to love you. You have to learn how to affirm you. You can't be waiting on others to do it. Others can see your worth and you don't see it. But why is that? Because you struggle with your own self-esteem. So whenever your perception is made clear and now you can love yourself and you can act as if I am a queen or I am a king. I'm not saying arrogant, but there's a level of confidence that you attain when you have a high self-esteem. Then whatever is said, whether negative or positive, you can take that and you can flip it to help your growth. So I know this has been a mouthful and it's been a heavy conversation, but I want to help those out there that struggle with this thing knowingly and unknowingly, and hopefully after listening to this entire video that you may have realized that it's not unknowingly anymore. Now I know what some of the issues are, and now I understand why these things come about, because I never really understood me as an individual. But I'm my prayer literally is for offense to take the back seat and not run our lives. So this is your girl Sapphire-J in another webisode of the Rejection series, and I would say stay tuned and let's continue this journey, because the next episode is going to be the fair zone. Stay tuned.